creepy, subtle horror is a lot more my jam when it comes to spooky games. Dead Space? Dead Space is anything but that. But that isn't to say Dead Space doesn't have its merits. It's just about as scary as a dentist appointment. Yeah, you aren't exactly comfortable, but nothing really surprising happens. In Dead Space, you play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer who, with a small team, dock onto a large planet mining ship called the Ishimura to investigate the whereabouts of its crew. Included in its crew is Isaac's girlfriend, Nicole, who has sent Isaac a video before disappearing. The crew quickly discovers that they're not alone on the Ishimura, as grotesque monsters called necromorphs attack the crew.
Jesus! Overfire! Overfire! Thunder power!
Leaving Isaac and two other crew members, Kendra and Hammond, as the only survivors. So Isaac sets off in an attempt to figure out what happened on the Ishimura and to Nicole, and to hopefully make it off the ship alive. The sci-fi setting is definitely a nice change of pace from the rest of the games I've been playing this month, plus the quick isolation from the other surviving crew members, while predictable and very video gamey, does make you feel helpless. At first anyways, because Dead Space is not as much survival horror as it is action horror. The second you get a weapon, it's over for the necromorphs. Which, let's talk about these guys. Yeah, they're pretty creepy looking and animated really well, but scary? Nah. I mean, yeah, a big monster jumping out at me and screaming is right to make me go, but even the first time they try to scare you with one of these guys, it didn't do much for me. And like I said, once you get a weapon, shit, it's a walk in the park. It is fun though. The idea is, rather than just shoot them until they die, you'll want to shoot them so their limbs fall off. This makes every interaction more about being able to aim properly without wasting too much ammo rather than just pumping them full. Definitely takes after the Resident Evil 4 school of gunplay. And it's really fun. I was having a great time with the combat. I can't say the enemies were that interesting though. Then again, they are pretty creepy, but not like horrifying. Of anything, the subtext of some of the crew members of the Ishimura worshipping these things or having some sort of crazy death call is more scary than the monsters are. More interesting too, since the characters we're stuck with are pretty basic as far as sci-fi soldiers come. So really, Dead Space is a fun game to play and has a really cool sci-fi setting. But one thing I will say, this PC port is fucked up, man. Like, oh my god. You can't walk through doors if your FPS is too high. I was stuck in the first room of the game and got to see this happen over and over again. Ironically, Dead Space might be the funniest game I've played all month because holy shit, this stuff is gold sometimes. Overall, Dead Space is fun if you like action horror games with fun combat. It's like a faster paced RE4 in a way. But with the remake of Dead Space existing, I'd say you're better off with that one. The characters are more fleshed out, including Isaac, and the tech to the game is 100 years ahead of the original. So really, play the original Dead Space if you want to laugh.